Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about the importance of practicing in sales. If you want to get the design clients which you are looking for, the high paying ones of course I'm talking about. And after coaching so many students and I'm seeing like this recurring pattern which to be honest is something which I had as well when I first started out. I wasn't born with special abilities or having being taught everything from the start. So it's always a learning curve. But now I can actually say that one of the most important things about sales is after you have a proven structure of success and you know all the tips and the tricks, like in the one that I'm sharing with my students. After you have that, it's all about practicing and really getting yourself out there and going and get more and more sales call, because you can have the perfect structure, you can have everything in your mind and know each and every detail about how to actually go ahead and get those high paying clients. But if you never hop on a phone call or meet a person, it's not going to do anything for you, because at the end of the day, and this is something which a lot of people don't talk about, especially like the marketing gurus and all those guys, it's that sales, it's a numbers game. So no matter how good you are, a lot of sales is just like prospecting and finding the right fit. So it's almost like dating. Like you cannot expect it to just go out there on the first date and you're going to find the girl which or the boy which you want to marry. Like it's going to take a little bit of more effort than that, and trial and error. And if you're super lucky, like I mean, you can definitely do that. But it's not like how the real world works, especially when it comes to finding good clients. Like even now in the position where I'm in, I'm definitely going to close a higher rate than myself, say even like 5 years ago. But the main issue is that you still need to go ahead and find those gems client out there. So you cannot expect to build a six-figure freelancing or consulting design business by just hopping on one sales call a month and call it a day. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you structure your business in a way that you have contracts which last for several months or even like a year contract, where you're doing a lot of your work almost as a part-time employee, you don't have to do a lot of sales. You just need maybe like 2 or 3 clients and you're pretty much set up. Maybe a little bit more than that if you want to structure it differently. That's definitely going to just depend on how you want to structure your business. But the reality is that in order to get those 2 or 3 clients, you cannot just expect to go on 2 or 3 sales calls. You definitely need more than that. Like in my opinion, like based on my experience, I don't want to say numbers because it's always going to depend based on all sorts of variables. Where do you find those prospects where you're entering the sales call in the first place, or things like your skill set. So if you're an expert in your field and you have an established portfolio, you're obviously going to be in a better position than when you're first starting out, right? So that's definitely going to change, but I mean, expect to at least hop on a few sales calls before you land a client. And one of the things which I'm teaching in the upcoming course that I'm creating on how to do sales efficiently as a designer is that you don't want to close every client. And that's kind of like a shocker for some of you, because you're in this I wouldn't say like scarcity mode, but you're in this mode where I just want to get some work, and sometimes you need just work like ASAP, and you don't really care about the quality of the work. That's totally fine. I've been there, done that. But when you have the ball rolling and you're not like desperate for a client, you want to go to the next level, which is being selective about the clients you work with. And this is really important. This is a massive lesson which I wish I learned before, because let's say that you take a client for 2 months and that client is not really a good client, you missed an opportunity to work with a better client, and that's probably going to cost you a lot more. And I'm not just talking about money, but also resources in time, the amount of effort you need to put in. Maybe you're dealing with a complicated client, and that's going to take like a lot of mental energy just to deal with. So these things are really important. But looking back to the very first concept, is that you cannot expect to just like hop on a couple of sales call and call it a day and be like, oh yeah, this is definitely like the the only way to go. And if I'm hopping on like 2 or 3 sales calls, and I can convert the client, either the system isn't working, or I'm not good enough, and all that BS really. You need to develop some thick skin when it comes to sales. And what I personally like to do, because I'm an introvert. I don't want to speak with strangers all day long. I didn't sign up to create a design business and consultancy based on having the need to each and every day wake up and just be like a salesman. I don't like to do that. So what I like to do is to create batches in my calendar, where if for example I don't have enough work in a specific period of time, I would just focus on sales and creating those opportunities, and taking on those clients in a short period of time. So let's say that maybe like 1 or 2 weeks, I just focus on outreach, and then sales. And then I would simply, once I get the clients, and I'm good with that, I would simply stop doing it pretty much. And the reason being is that the way I like to structure my business is I want to simply have long-term clients. So I don't work in like 1 or 2 or 3 months projects anymore. I rather work with someone who has design needs part-time maybe, or even 1 day a week or 2 days a week or whatever it is. And I would serve them for a long time. But yeah, I mean, that's just how I like to do it. If you have more of a project-based service, so if you're just doing like a website without any upsells afterwards, which you should totally do in order to start building that recurring revenue, um, it's going to take more sales more often. And the I mean, those are also businesses which you can scale. I don't want to scale at a certain point. I don't want to like build a team or anything like that. I'm more focusing on just serving the clients directly, so that they don't have to deal with all of the issues when it comes to dealing with a team. And what I like to do is take the profit and instead reinvesting in more passive income sources, so that I don't have the time pressure which would be associated with creating a team and scaling my design service business. Because all my other endeavors, let's say that I'm creating an affiliate site, if for some reason I don't have enough time to allocate in that specific week to the affiliate sites, I can just leave them there, and I won't have any repercussions whatsoever. But if I really want to scale up the design service business, I would always need to like juggle multiple projects and be sure that everything is running smooth. And I would like to do it at a certain point, but I feel that creating these other passive income sources, it's a more relaxed way to scale past the 6 figures and go to multiple 6 figures. So that's the way that I like to do it. There isn't really a right or wrong way. You can scale much faster if you do design service based business, and all of these like businesses which are directly involving you working with the client, and building up the team, you can usually scale those faster on average than the passive income sources. The passive income sources are, again, more passive. They're like more hands off once you build them, but it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, and especially you need to find those really good gems in the test which you're trying, because if you don't, you make way less money than with client work. And I can tell you, it's not a great position to be in. But I don't want this video to be sidetracked. I want to keep this video focused on sales, and what I believe is one of the most important things to keep in mind when it comes to selling with clients, which is essentially just going after it, have this proven structure that works, that is proven to work. Then the very next thing is to just outreach a lot, as I teach in my other course on how to find high-paying clients. You want to outreach to only clients which have a certain degree of success, in my opinion, unless you're starting out, and you can also go with startups and other type of clients, just to get the experience, just to get the ball rolling. But right after that, my biggest suggestion would be to actually just go ahead and find clients with some revenue or funding, and maybe they have already a team established. Don't want to go like too high, like you don't want to pitch to Facebook unless you're maybe in a place like London where you can actually apply to be a consultant on site. But usually if you're working remotely, it's super difficult to get those type of positions. Not impossible, but just on average it's much more easy to pitch to smaller entities. But again, I would stay away from like startups with $5,000 in the bank, and they really need to like maximize those $5,000. Otherwise, they'll go bust in a short period of time. So that would be my suggestion when it comes to data. And also another thing that I would recommend right after you do all the outreach, like a teacher, is to just go ahead and try to land as much sales calls as you can. At the beginning it's scary, but as in anything in life, the more you do it, the easier it becomes, the more momentum you build, and definitely the easier this whole process is just going to be. So I know that sales, it's one of the most intimidating thing, but as I mentioned multiple times in the course, it's all about seeing yourself as a doctor who is listening to a patient, and then once you have all the information and data, you can first evaluate if you want to work with that patient, and but at the very end you can prescribe eventually a medicine to that patient, which is in this case your design services. But it shouldn't be this thing where I think, especially if you look at on social media, video about sales and marketing, you always see like these hyped up guys, with like tons of energies, who are just like, really smashing on people with these concepts of, yeah, you just have to like go after it. If you have like an objection, just like aggressively go after the client, and eventually you convince them. I really don't like that approach. I tried it. It feels unnatural. I'm not like a super high energy myself with all this crazy amount of charisma, and being able to like speak super fast and all those things that you see on those videos. I'm more chilled down, and what I like to do is always to just provide value and figure out if we're a good fit. Now, a lot of the times it's just figuring out if you two individuals can work well together. So again, see it almost as a call. I wouldn't say a friendly call, because you shouldn't really try to make them your friend. That's not like the primary goal over there. But you should definitely try and focus on creating a relationship if you see that there is potential for working together. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And again, if you're interested in learning more about these topics, my YouTube channel have over 300 videos, and I basically talk about both sales, freelancing, design softwares, and all those type of things. So if you're interested in these type of videos, feel free to check it out. And if you have any questions, I'm always happy to help. Try to reply whenever I can. So feel free to DM me on my Instagram at Pierluigi Giglio, and you can also eventually leave a comment below, and I'll try my best to reach out to you. All right, so that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and keep those sales coming in.